income. And when I think about the people that have built the business, they are a shining example of residual income. They built to the supervising director level or the director level, supervising coordinator level, and they have a nice income coming in. It hasn't been interrupted. Okay, their checks keep coming in. So when people see that and understand that, because this is a topic of conversation today, it's a wake-up call. It's a beacon light that shines to them as another way for the future to be in a very secure situation economically or financially. So we can serve people by finding and providing what they want and need without going to stores or without brick and mortar having, having to be the only place you can get them. And it's delivered right to them. So we have the perfect model, and the timing is right. So we can take this problem time and turn it into opportunity and thrive rather than have to have a problem. So this is a wake-up call for most people. They realize how vulnerable their income and financial security is. The future's uncertain. Some people are actually scared. Yet UFOs who did it have solid, uninterrupted, secure incomes, and the spotlight then is on residual income because that is the reality of what they have, of what they've developed. So it kind of glows, and people see it. So now is the time to build. Now's the time to say, hey, don't let this happen to you again. This is a time where you can take the time because you're not at work to start something that can provide you that type of financial security. It's a reality check. And part of that reality check, even if somebody isn't in the business, they're looking for how can I not be in this position in the future? And that's what our business is really all about. So this is the time to do it. And besides that, people are going stir crazy. They're stuck at home, they're not working, they're in isolation or social distancing or quarantining, and you have a captive audience. Before, they were too busy. Now, they're more than willing to listen. They're looking for something to listen to. So it's a time for many of us in the business. The business has always been great, but maybe you didn't do what you could have done with it. So this is a time for stable and waiting people. And also new UFOs to learn the right way and get it going. There's never been a better time. And so I want to encourage you, if you've been in for a while, to seek out a senior partner because there's somebody up above that's making money that has credibility. And I know how hard it is to get started again and go out and get people to evaluate it or show the business because your friends are like my friends. They know me and they don't listen to me. But when you have somebody that is making money, that has some credibility, and they do it with you, it changes the atmosphere. Then they do listen, and they can't give you a hard time. So I really encourage you, that's probably one of the most important things that you could do, to seek out a senior partner making money that's going to benefit from your growth. Say, hey, I'm ready to do this. I really want to do it now. And team up together and learn this evaluation process and start doing it. So it's a time for those that discovered the business years ago, but have been consumed or sidetracked or preoccupied with all types of things, or just didn't put the time in to wake up and make it happen now. You got a fresh start, and the timing could not be better. And of course, teamwork is the key. Forming little teams and getting together to say, okay, we're going to do it now. That makes a big difference. And remember rule number one, have fun. And it is a lot of fun when you do it this way. So let me dive in to this secret that I want to penetrate your cerebral cortex with and indelibly impress upon you or imprint on you. It goes all the way back to the beginning of the business when we used to double in growth every year. the number of UFOs and the volume used to double. And what was it? Sometimes it's called the Dead Sea Scrolls or the esoteric Holy Grail, because there's 4 tapes, I think, that kind of capture it, the essence of what makes the business work. And it's something that kind of got lost or diluted. And it always works. So I'm trying to bring people back to that. 1993, becoming a professional. It's about the old days. Elizabeth Weber talks about, a couple years later, back in the old days, we grew faster because we did 3-way calls with people in the evaluation approach, and it really, really worked. The old days, right? But the 90-day fast track, the method of the madness, the original Basic 5, one of the first times we ever did it with Dennis Franks and Kevin Buckman. But those tapes talk about this. And if you want to validate it for yourself, that this is what made us grow, that this is what really worked, that this is what created what we are today, go back to them. So listen, I've been doing this my whole life. And there's only one way I know, and it's what I do and what I'll show you. It's the only way that I know. And it was developed by doing everything wrong by trial and error over 40 years, And when I did it in 4 different companies before Market America was at Ford. I got the rug pulled from underneath me. I did everything right, built it, had a nice income. But the point is that every time I did it, it worked. We succeeded 4 times with huge organizations of people making 6 figures. Now, because of that, I know that it works. Some people reach levels, and in our business, it can almost be luck or by accident, because they were in a power leg and somebody was building with them, and accidentally, or just by circumstances, they got a second one. They ended up making 6 figures, and now they tell everybody how to do it. But I wonder if they can do it again. I know that I can do it again. So the only way that I can guarantee what I do and teach it to work for someone else, where they will make 6 figures, is to do it with them. And the reason for that is when I do it with them, there's nothing to duplicate. It just works, because it works every time. So I'm trying to coach people to understand this process of imprinting, this process of the evaluation method, and how it leads into qualifying people and results in a trial run, which leads to the right people, and the business works before the person has to make a decision. And what it imprints into the business is the replication of people leading to people, and people evaluating it and being qualified to find the right person. It's automatically happening over and over and over again. So the numbers start to grow, and it's the law of probability. The law of probability is working in your favor. And it's almost impossible not to have the right person come to the surface, or the nuts rise to the top. So we're seeing and experiencing a recommitment to do it again one more time. Elizabeth Weber, Walliser, and several key leaders that she has are just booming, hitting pin levels. Don and Lisa Martin regained their pin level. Colin and Trinity Haskins regained their pin level. Pip and Beth Black regained their pin level, are on the next level. Shelley Bow hit director during this time, the 3 months of this so-called pandemic. They grew more than ever. Tom Pasternak from Pittsburgh, and 60 others. I could go on and on and on. Again, when I start naming people, I leave out half of it. So, new UFOs and orphan groups that have really didn't have the help, are doing it now, because we're reaching out to them, seeking them out. And when they join one of these 90-day fast-track groups, everything starts to change. But now, to do this, I want to be real straight with you. You have to be willing to do certain things almost religiously, habitually. You have to be disciplined. And the 5 things that it requires for what I'm about to show you to work is first, you have to use the evaluation approach to secure 2 presentations per week. And we're going to show you how to do that. And the way we set it up, you'll be doing it with somebody. So that pretty much changes the atmosphere. You need to be a product of the product without saying. You have to show the plan to 2 or more people per week. Now, that doesn't mean that you go out and show it personally necessarily. You can be teaming up with somebody, and that's how you learn to show it. But you want 2 people to see the plan per week and evaluate it to see if they can lead to the right people. Not necessarily to get them in or to close them or to sign them up, but to get them to see the plan and evaluate it to see if they know the right people. And then we sell tickets to the next GMTSS event and to prospects. And then, very important, we measure, monitor, adjust, and control personally and with your team, because the only learning is experiential learning. And when we look at what happened and discuss it and measure it and monitor it, we tweak it so that it gets better and so that it works and so that you start getting results. So, again, these are the 5 things. Okay, use the evaluation approach to secure 2 presentations a week. You start out by just doing 2 calls. 3 ways are the best way to do it until you are getting 2 appointments per week. And by the way, I'm going to be very methodical about this. Okay, this is going to be one of those seminars where you can actually take the slides and go back to it and teach it to yourself or teach it to your group. But I want implementation. I want execution. I want to give you things that really work for you that you can use. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Be a product of the product. Use all the products. Become a SAM, 500 BV, 300 and 600 IBV. Get 2 people to evaluate the plan per week. Begin with 2 evaluation approaches per week. And in doing that, assist and help out showing the plan. And you're going to learn how to show the plan as well. And sell tickets to the next GMTSS. And then again, measure, monitor, adjust, and control. We have a weekly call, a weekly report, and we go over it so we can see what's happening and where we can help work and the new people that are coming in, but also adjust what you're doing so you get better results. So the question I have for you is, did you do these things? Or are you set up to do them? Now, if you're not set up to do them, that has to change right now. And are you focused on doing them weekly? Because the people that are getting results now, they're doing this weekly, they're doing it religiously. We check the reports, we're in it together. So are you doing them or not? Yes or no? Now look, just stop right there. If it's no, you need to change. Otherwise, why are you here? If it's yes, then you should be getting results. And we want to hear about them. Okay, so that's the big question. Now, as far as the accountability goes, and this reporting process, as we're having fun doing this, system now, where the entire team and the coaches and leaders of the team can all see what's happening, and it quantifies it and reports it, and we go over it, and we can discuss each other's results. So you simply need to go to this weekly accountability request that's then unfranchised, and each week as a team, we all fill it out. This makes a big difference because it's systemized so that we can all see it, and it lists everything as a team and individually, and then we're able to coach you. We're able to take a look at this thing. Your team leader doing the 90-day fast track will be able to actually help you out. I'm telling you that if you're going to hit pen levels, if you're going to turn this process into results, there's a tracking process, and results or experiences which connect the dots in the evaluation approach. We have to see what's happening. If we don't look at what happens each week with the evaluations and in your organization where everybody's working and making sure that everybody has a partner, every single person has to have a partner. That's extremely important. I'm getting worked up here and excited. So by having an organizational chart or diagram, we can match up, make sure that everywhere that we're going to work, that you need to have growth in order to hit the next level, you have a partner. And we're going to do the evaluation technique and the no decision flows. It'll lead to the next group of people. And we have to map it out, measure it, or look at every. Okay.
你一定要把你的发展过程跟行动计划图像化、组织化。
Hey guys, we're here for the translation.
On our side, yeah. So when we spend a lot of time.
咁我哋咧好多時間。
I want you to understand.
希望大家明白，没有一个组织的话，不可能去个阶段。
What they're doing in order to get to the next level and to win.
It's like the dimensions we have to find out.
Okay. We're getting, so everybody knows, we're getting the translation coming back as I'm speaking audibly, so it's difficult to compete with.
Correct. That didn't happen before.
Right, wasn't happening before.
We have these things around in dimensions, right?
So I'm just clicking through these. I'm clicking through these so that you can see what detail we go into. And my point is this, it's extremely important to have an organizational diagram and an action plan of exactly what everybody's going to do using the technique that I'm about to unfold for you in order to have teams, partners, and a plan of where to work and who's going to come at the next level. And this was Elizabeth. You can see it's quite complicated. She has a large organization, but every month we get together and go over that and map out how we're going to get people to the next level. Okay? Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today, the rest of the time, resonated at the World Conference 2020, and it focus on residual income and the no decision closed evaluation technique into trial runs, which qualifies people automatically. And the end result of it is it gets people leading to people. Now remember, the only reason you're not a director is you haven't found the right people. What this does is it creates a mechanism where people lead to people rather than just trying to get people in, so that you always end up with the right people. It's proven, tried, tested. If you follow it, you're always going to find the right person in a leg. So the major point, at the Market America World Conference was that the Market America business and unfranchised is a residual income machine and generator. And residual income is at the top of the economic ladder. It's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, what everybody seeks. But it's very difficult for most people to get. But the unfranchised and the MPCP was made to result in residual income for the average person. And fundamentally what residual income means is that we build something that put time in once that produces an income flow that continues on even when we don't put time in. So that's what the business is really designed to do for the average person. First, you have to understand and appreciate the difference between income and residual income. Regular or normal income or salary, pay, even commissions is different than residual income. As one in any of those situations is simply exchanging time for money. Okay? The beauty of this business and what everybody seeks is they wish they could make six figures, but also have time. And that's what the business is designed actually to produce or generate or result in. So they must put time in on a continued basis to be paid. And when one stops, the income stops. So think of anybody, whether they be a doctor, a lawyer, somebody that owns a chain of businesses, they got to keep working. And if they stop, the income stops. So residual income is much different than a job, pay, salary, or regular income, as one is simply exchanging time for money. Even when they're making a lot of money, The truth of the matter is, the higher up they are, the longer the fall, because they got to be producing and putting time in order for that income to continue. You know, I have a lot of doctor friends, and lawyer friends, and I mean, they talk about how many people they have to run through. A business where other people are making money and the customers are ordering the products and there's regenerated volume. The income is residual. It keeps coming in. So a recap of the reasons why you can make it, which were covered in World Conference 20. I'm trying to appeal to your intelligence, to your logic. There's 3 reasons why you can definitely make it in this business. When I say make it, have a 6-figure residual income. The first is residual income itself. That is what the business is about. We have what everybody wants and can provide and offer too good to refuse. What I mean by that, if you understand that everybody wishes that they could have a residual income, a 6-figure income, and we can give them the opportunity to do it without risk, without having to invest, without having to leave their job, without having to figure out how to do it, without having to be educated. All they need to do is evaluate it, and if they lead to the right people, they end up getting credit for it. So that's what I call an offer too good to refuse. We have what everybody wants, a proven system, and if they try it out and simply I didn't say get in, evaluate it to see if it makes sense to them. And if it makes sense to them and they would prefer residual income over working for 45 years, then why not get some people to evaluate it to see if they can lead to the right people? And if they do, they get credit for it. And so that's really the offer too good to refuse. The second thing that I want you to understand is the MPCP and unfranchised business, along with the evaluation technique and trial run, is synergistic. See, evaluation and people leading to people are the fuel for the MPCP. And what I'm teaching you gets everybody doing that together. And it creates numbers. And the probability works in your favor because we don't have to build wide in order or vertically, horizontally, okay, in order to be profitable. And that has to happen in a franchise model, in a store model, and an insurance model. They need a lot of people horizontally in order to be profitable. But here, we've created a system where vertically everybody's working together. So if everybody's doing the evaluation technique down 2 lines, and if we find one person in each line, everybody gets credit. So we're able to create the numbers, and we're able to create the probability leverage that we're going to find the right person by everybody doing that together, by getting people to evaluate it, rather than trying to get them in, sign them up, and hope that they go do something. So you have, a lot, and understand the business and how powerful the vehicle is, but you can't get it started. You can't get the engine started. So here's how we fix it. We change the atmosphere. It's hard for you to do this on your own. We change the atmosphere by partnering with a senior partner that is making money, so that the people that you get to evaluate it aren't arguing with you, aren't, they give you a hard time. But when you have an expert from afar, or you have the connections, they don't believe that you can do it yourself and help them make 6 figures, but they do believe that you might have the connections. So we partner with a senior partner that's making money, and that changes the atmosphere, and now we can start the process of people leading to people simply by evaluating it to see if they know the right people. It isn't so much about them doing it. It's about finding out, do they know the right people? Let me ask you this question. Why would you want to bring in anybody in? They can't lead to the right people. They can't lead to any customers or sponsor anybody. Why would you want to do that? So why not find out first? Why not try them out? Why not test it out with them? Then when it works, There's no convincing. There's no decision to make. It already worked. It's a foolproof solution. And if you would only learn this, only believe me, only try it, everything would change for you. And the third thing is you do have to have the right consciousness. You do have to have the right mindset. And it is true that when your brain is programmed for success and you know exactly how you're going to get there, and you believe, you ground yourself in feeding your mind the right positive input, it becomes guaranteed because the circumstances will be created. The people will be attracted to you. The epiphanies, the ideas, the thoughts will all come to you. And I know that some people think that's hocus pocus. I'm not going to get into it that much today. But I'm just telling you, if we do number one and we do number two, you're already programming your brain. And as we get momentum, we will start to really fine-tune and work on your thinking and your brain and your programming so that it explodes, so you're guaranteed, so that it happens even faster. Okay, so I think you have to appreciate how powerful what you have is. So let's do evaluation. You have a business, and if you build a business on one of these levels, it's generating an income. Now, this is how they do valuations in business or in securities or in selling businesses. What's your business worth? See, in order to reach, let's say, national supervising coordinator level, you're going to make $187,000 a year. So what would it take if the cash or money invested to generate that type of income? This is a legitimate way of doing an evaluation. Well, with T-bills, and this might have fluctuated some, but it's $9,360,000. So a national supervising coordinator business, it's not even that high. It's not even director. It's worth $9,360,000. Why? Because to generate the type of income that it yields, that's what it would take in the bank or in an investment or in T-bills. So even as a master coordinator earning $25,000 a year, $2,100 per month, that takes $1,260,000 put away in the bank. Now, here's my question. Look at the income level on the left side and the value of the money invested to generate that income on the right side.